So each day master learns differently. All right. So each day master learns differently and has different abilities, and the growth potential is different. Okay, so let me just 1 second. Okay, so Yang Wood learning style is steady and methodical. They prefer practical application. You have to remember this about Yang Wood. If you are teaching a Yang Wood person, then they prefer to learn through practical application. They are slow, but they are thorough. Okay, and their growth potential is continuous improvement. Okay, they need to continuously improve themselves if they want to grow. They need to reflect. Self-reflection is important. And flexibility. Yang Wood by nature is inflexible. So they need to be a little flexible if they want to succeed. Then we have the Yin Wood. Their learning style is different from Jia Yang Wood. Yin Wood is creative. Okay, they learn creatively, as in you cannot be the same way as you teach Jia, you cannot teach Yin Wood the same way. They prefer collaborative learning, which is team learning, as in they form a group or they have someone else to learn with. So that's what they prefer. And then flexibility, and they need to be flexible, as in they need a flexible routine. They cannot stick to one routine or one subject for a long time. Okay, so they need to move from one topic to the other topic. Their growth potential is in developing focus. Yin Wood lacks focus, so they need to develop focus. All right, 1 second. Yin Wood lacks focus, so they need to develop focus. And again, they need to harness their creativity. Basically, they jump from project to project. And since they jump from project to project, it makes them, their focus is limited. So they need to harness their creativity, develop their focus, and improve emotional resilience. Okay? They are not resilient as far as emotions are concerned. So these are the areas of growth. Yang fire. Oops, 1 second. Okay. Their learning style is they are high energy learners, goal-oriented learning, and leadership in learning. Okay. And as far as growth potential is concerned, they need to channel their energy. Yang fire, they masters are generally extremely energetic. So they need to channelize their energy. If they don't channelize their energy, they are not going to be able to focus for a long time. Okay? And then they have to be patient. And emotional balance is extremely important for them. If they are emotionally imbalanced, they cannot learn, they cannot grow. Now, as far as Ting in fire is concerned, they are methodical and reflective when they learn. So you have to give them time. Unlike being Yang fire, they are high energy learners, as in if they sit with the subject, being Yang fire will just learn for 2-3 hours, or maybe it can be 2-3 months. They'll be obsessed with that particular subject. It can go on for 6 months, 9 months, and they learn the same subject at one go. Whereas Ting in fire, they take it slow. They will learn, they'll reflect, then again come back, again learn a bit, again reflect. So Ting in fire learning way is different than being Yang fire. And they are emotional learners. So when you are talking to a Ting in fire, you need to give them stories to evoke their emotions. Otherwise, they are not going to learn much. Being Yang fire doesn't need any emotional stories. Okay, you just dump everything on them, they'll learn if they want to. Again, if they want to. Learning style for Ting in fire, like I said, they are slow and steady. Growth potential is building confidence. Ting in fire somehow lack the confidence. If they can find it in themselves to build the confidence, then they will do even better. Then they need to manage their emotions and strength in support. Ting in fire needs a lot of support, a lot of resource. Generally, Ting in fire does well with studies, but they are slow and steady. They are not fast learners. They're slow and steady. But again, if you remember the story, which we have heard since we were kids, okay, or rather babies, between the rabbit and the tortoise, who wins? Between the rabbit and the tortoise, who wins? I mean, everybody, I don't know, you guys must be knowing the rabbit and tortoise story, yes? Yeah? Yeah, the turtle wins, Nini, right? Yes. So, Ting in fire, even slow and steady, okay, even slow and steady, it doesn't mean they don't win, okay? They do win. Now we come to the next one, which is Wu Yang Earth. Now, their learning style is again similar to Ting in fire. They are steady, methodical, and they absorb. Once they absorb, they will not forget. Wu Yang Earth, generally, memory-wise, is good. Generally, okay? Growth potential or areas where they need to, they can develop they can grow is by being persistent. And self-reflection is extremely important, and to become adaptable. Now, the last one, difficult for a Wu Yang Earth. Extremely difficult, but if they can do that, they can grow even more. Now, let's move to G Earth, Yin Earth. Okay, learning style, Yin Earth are intuitive. They learn intuitively, like as in today, they'll walk into the library, they'll walk into their library. They generally have a library. Both the Earths will have a library, okay? They have a collection of books, could be courses, could be a digital library, could be a virtual library, could be an actual library. I don't know how many Earths are sitting here, Wu Yang Earth and Ji Yin Earth. Tell me if you have a library. Just type a yes in the chat. You will have a library, either a digital, a virtual, or an actual one. Lots of books in it. Lots of books in it. There you go. See, two of them. Yes, yes. And instinctively, they'll walk into the room, and instinctively they'll pick. Oh, today I will do this one. So they are, they are that kind. They are very intuitive learners. And they like experiences and shared experiences, not experiences alone, but shared experience. Like, let's say, who is there? Anthony, Fabio, Alina, Pita, I guess all of you, too many books. Alina says, okay. So all of you are Earth people. So you want to have a shared experience, as in get together with others and then study, as in a team study, a study group. And you love group discussions. Okay, you love group discussions. Okay, but I know G Yin Earth keeps on buying bookshelves. That's the best. Yes, Alina, because they love group discussions. The thing is, they need to discuss. It's not group learning. It's group discussion. There's a difference. So if you put a G Yin Earth in a group where they're all studying, might not enjoy so much. But if you put them in a group discussion, wow, they really shine, they really learn. Growth potential wise, they need to be flexible. Okay, they need to be a little flexible. They need to take self-care. Sometimes they don't take care of themselves. G Yin Earth has a tendency to continuously give, and nurture others, and they forget themselves. So self-care is important. And they need to set boundaries. They need to learn when to say no. You need to learn when to say no and when to say yes. They have no boundaries. It's like, okay, come. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's do. So it cannot always be an yes. Set your boundary. Once you set up your boundaries, you might think like, oh no, people will not like me if I set up my boundaries. It's nothing like that. Once you set up your boundary, people will respect that. And in fact, they like you even more. Okay? Is there a negative side to all these day masters? Yes, there is. But since we are learning in a group format and it's a small group, and it's a public event, I will stick to the positives. Okay, I won't be going into the negatives, all right? Okay, now we talk about the yang metal. Now, yang metal enjoys clear and structured learning. You cannot be doing lesson 1 and then lesson 10 with yang metal. It has to be lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4. It has to go that way with yang metal day masters. Okay, they learn better when they're in a competitive environment. So if there are 2 of them learning together, even better, because one will win, the other won't. Okay, so you have to pitch the yang metal against another person if you want to teach them well. Or you have to give them an example. That guy is doing it. Why can't you do it? That's how you teach the yang metal. Okay? Growth potential wise, they are horrible at interpersonal communication. They need to learn that. Then they need to learn how to work in a collaborative environment. Do Jeopardy in class for gang. Yes, that will also work. Josephine, good idea. Okay? And they're emotionally insensitive. So they need to develop the emotional sensitivity. Okay, they are emotionally not very sensitive. And they need to learn how to work in group or team. They're not exactly team players. Gang metal is not a team player at all. Neither is sin metal. Okay, now it's 1 second. Now, sin yin metal is attention to detail. Point 1, sub-point 2, C section, you got to go that way with sin metal, okay? You got to be detail-oriented if you are teaching a sin metal. Then they need time to fine-tune their skills. Example, if they study BaZi once, they will study BaZi a second time, a third time, till the time, they fine-tuned everything. Okay, and they're perfectionists. Remember, sin yin metal are perfectionists. What they don't realize that nothing is perfect in this world. So they will look for perfection in whatever they do. They value perfection. So if early on they can learn to trust their instincts, it's better, because they don't trust their instincts at all. They look for perfection, and if they don't achieve it, they will not move ahead. Okay, so that is a problem as far as learning style is concerned, because there is no perfection. Perfection does not exist. Okay, and that is something you have to explain to the sin yin metal. Building confidence, they need to build their confidence. They need to make bold decisions. Generally, they don't. And they need to trust their instincts, which they don't. So these are the areas. If they can cover these areas, then they can go exponentially. Now we have run yang water. Run yang water is dynamic as far as learning is concerned. They're adaptable, dynamic, adaptable learners. They're quick to absorb. In fact, run yang water is one of the most intelligent stems. Okay, one of the most intelligent stems, unless, of course, there are a lot of negative components, and then it doesn't matter. But generally, run yang water is one of the most intelligent stems. The second one is kuei yin water. Okay, and they prefer variety. So when you're teaching a run yang water, today it has to be BaZi, tomorrow it has to be feng shui, day after tomorrow it is date selection, after that maybe chimen, after that maybe manifestation, and then again you come back to BaZi. So they prefer variety. They don't like one subject. So if you have a kid, okay, if your kid is run yang water, what you can do is 30 minutes of science, 15-minute break, 30 minutes of English. So one language, one science. That's how they learn better. Growth potential wise, they need to build on their focus. They need to be disciplined and channel energy to specific goals and projects. Then we have the kuei yin water. They are reflective in nature. As in, they will study and they will think about it. Okay? And, oh, reflective runner has been repeated twice. They're intuitive by nature. They can also absorb knowledge very fast. It doesn't take them time. Only problem is focus. They have too many minds. And because they have too many minds, sometimes it is difficult for them to sit and focus on something. Growth potential wise, they need to build confidence. They need to trust their own abilities, and they need to take decisive action.